Hello, everyone. Welcome to a place for healthy conversations. I am Kim, and also known as Ms. Empower. I'm going to give a few minutes for some more people to come in the room. I appreciate you for logging on with me tonight. For those who are new to the channel, make sure that you press the subscribe button and the bell so you'll know the next time that I upload a video or go live. Looking forward to tonight's discussion. We're actually talking about cheating. The topic is why cheat. So I'm just going to give a few minutes for some more people to log on and then we'll get started. Hey, Angela, how are you doing? Welcome to a place for healthy conversations. How is your day going? Did you see the flyer that tells you what the topic is for tonight? That's what I do like about YouTube. I can do that. So you're still out and about. Hey, Shanika, thanks for joining us tonight. So, Shanika, the topic that you put in my comments earlier is so funny to me because I've been talking about that, but I wasn't really necessarily just stuck on mothers and daughters, but it was mothers, daughters, sons, just all of it combined. Because it's important that we know how to talk to our children and bond with them. Like that's something I really am looking forward to diving in and teaching, because I had to learn some things too to get there. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully, I'll let you know. I'll let you know when that topic is coming up because I probably have like, I have two more episodes that I want to do on cheating, possibly. So we're going to see, but it's a possibility I may jump to that and then come back around to the cheating part because I have a person I want to interview and I don't know when they're going to be available. So they may not be available on a Tuesday, but yes, there are a lot of healthy conversations that we're going to have on this channel, and so I'm looking forward to that. So if you want to give me some feedback on that, if you want to write a letter for Ms. Empower for that night, that's great too. Um, so, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I was going to give a few more minutes, but I don't want to hold up anyone's time tonight. So tonight, I just really wanted to talk about cheating. So I want to jump in with it is because it is a topic for our community, unfortunately. And it's not just our community, it's not just our culture either. So that is a big topic. And so I knew that would be a good one to kind of dive into. And yes, it is very unfortunate, which is, I want to talk about that tonight as well. So the first night that I did the launch for the channel, I made a comment that someone who could cheat on you, if they're cheating on you, that they couldn't love you. And so I had one person to send a message to me and ask me how could I say that that person um, didn't love their partner. And they said, what if it's a learned behavior? Maybe if that's the reason, then they deserve a chance. So I was never saying that the person didn't deserve a chance. What I'm saying is, if a person sees how much they're breaking you down, and how much they're really hurting you, and they continue to do that, they can't love you. Like, I just don't see where the love is. I don't see how they could say they were in love with you. I mean, we could love our neighbor, but are they in love with you? Like, that's my opinion though. So that's the icebreaker for tonight. Um, and I want to make sure, hold on, guys. So this is my question that I need you guys to respond to. Would you view a person who is cheating on their partner due to learned behavior as a partner who loves their partner, who is in love with their partner? Let me just rephrase that: in love with their partner. Um, Feel free to comment on this throughout the night, throughout the segment. So, a person who is cheating on their partner due to learned behavior as a partner who loves, I'm sorry, how do you view a person who is cheating on their partner due to a learned behavior as a partner who loves their partner? So, would you view them as a partner that is in love with their partner? Um, so that is my icebreaker for tonight. So give me something on that. Can you respond? I'm going to repeat it one more time because I messed it up the first two times. How would you view a person? Hold on, let me start over. Okay, so would you view a person who is cheating on their partner due to learned behavior as a partner who is in love with their partner? You can say yes, you can say no, you can add more um, to that. So I just wonder what you guys thought, because let me just go back and say, on this channel, this is the opportunity. When we have these discussions, it's a discussion. So we all may have different opinions, and it's okay. It's never a debate. It's not going to be um, us competing or going back and forth. It's everybody sometimes has their own opinion, and it may not be the same as someone else. We think differently, guys. So I just thought that I would ask you guys that question, and I told that person that I would put it out there for the audience to answer. How do you feel about that? So if the partner um, is cheating because it's a learned behavior, do you still feel like they are in love with their partner? I think there's a delay with YouTube, whereas Facebook didn't do that. Like, or did they? They did have a delay too. Okay. So Angela says cheating in itself is a self act. No love there. So this was my thought. I feel as though whether it was a learned behavior or not, the moment that you know what you're doing, right? You are accountable for your actions. And if you're accountable for your actions, if you are cheating, you know that's wrong. You see that you are hurting your partner. So I just don't see how you can say you're in love with someone if you're cheating on them. Um, and you said it's an act of selfishness. Yes, it really can be. And we're going to dive a little deeper into it. So let me go ahead and get started. You guys can continue commenting on that throughout the segment. So as we know, cheating means to deceive or trick. Um, cheating happens in all aspects of life, but we're really focusing in on relationships tonight. So, in school, you know, who who never cheated in school? Because I'm not gonna lie, I did one time, and actually I was in college when it happened, and I got caught. And so, in the middle of getting caught, they made me leave, and so I did, and so they allowed me to retake the test, but I just wasn't prepared, and so that was my answer to not being prepared, and I learned a lesson that day. So it happens in a lot of parts of our lives where people cheat, but we're focusing again on relationships. Um, so again, I did read the icebreaker, and I'll read it one more time for those of you that didn't um, hear it the first time. So, would you view a person who is cheating on their partner due to learned behavior as a partner who is in love with their partner? Okay, so let me move forward. So let's talk about the negatives about cheating in your relationship or your marriage. One thing for sure, it it's like you just set a standard for your household when you do that. You devastation now is a part of your family. When one of the parents is cheating or both are cheating on one another, it brings devastation to the household. It really does, because there are arguments. Um, there is loud stuff going on, sometimes violence, a lot of times not talking to each other. So it's a lot of negative energy. And who feels that? When you have children feel that. If you don't have children, you both feel it. And that's like hard to live with, right? Your family is now divided or possibly divorced. You know, um, your children are learning how to treat others, right? Your children now, and somebody probably may say, how would the child know? Because some people who cheat actually take their children with them to the other person's house. And so that happens, right? Or they have this person coming to their own house where the children are. So children get caught in that. So you're teaching your children some things. Your children now believe cheating is normal. And so, as we talked about the learned behavior, they learn that behavior from what they see in front of them. Your children now believe that if my partner cheats, it's okay because they still love me. Even though my partner is out here cheating on me and I'm hurt and I'm broken and I'm crying and I'm sad and I'm upset and there's tension in the household, it's normal. It's okay because they love me, right? Even though all of this is going on, they're still in love with me. That's what you teach your children. I'm gonna give an example of that. I saw a lot of abuse going on when I was coming up, and when I started school, elementary school, I want to say it was either first or second grade the first time that I saw a boy do something really. And this is not me just focusing on boys and girls or men and saying that men and boys are the cause of anything. It's not that. This is because it could be a man or or a woman cheating, right, on their partner. So the first time that I saw that happen at school, and then I started seeing it more often at school, and it hurt me. But at the same time, a part of me felt like, okay, that's not happening to me. So do they not like me? Because it was almost like they must like them. That's why they're doing that to them. Um, and I used to wonder, well, why wasn't it happening to me? So that's one thing, children can see things happening and think that it's normal, it's okay, and that there's still love there, and it's not. Um, your children are subject to be cheaters or cheated on, because it is now considered normal in their head. Your partner is now broken. Their self esteem is low. And so when your partner is broken and their self esteem is low, if there are children involved, the children are going to feel all of that. So it's important that we think about that, because it's like when whatever partner it is that goes out there and decides to have an affair, I don't think they really sit there and think about the whole entire thing, like what is really going on, like what is about to happen, what they are about to cause by doing what they're about to do. But they're, like Angela said, they're being selfish. They're thinking about themselves, what they want to feel. And they're not thinking about their partner, or if they have children, they're not thinking about the children at the time. It's just, let me go out here and do this. So we're going to talk more about that. But why cheat? That's my question. Why cheat? It's so many things that can be done. Let's sit down. Let's have conversation. You know, um, did you tell your partner these things that are making you feel like, okay, I'm gonna just step out, so that I can be over here where I don't have to? Because a lot of times it's said that somebody will leave and step out because things are not going well in the home. Um, their partner is not compatible with them sexually. Um, or they're just not getting along. They're arguing all the time, and they just want to go somewhere where they can have some peace, right? So, we're going to talk about the different types of cheating. So, we have the physical cheating, which is the sexual cheating where you're having sex. Um, and we hear about that more than we do anything else, but now we're starting to hear more about the emotional cheating, because with the physical cheating, like I said, it's you're actually having sex. And so when you have sex with somebody, a lot of times more gets involved um, than what you expected. Once you start doing that, it's like you forget about everything. You even may start moving differently, doing things differently than you would have done in the beginning before all of this cheating, because now your bodies are tied, your souls are tied together because you slept together. But does this mean that because that person slept with this person, that they're really all in with them? Not necessarily, but there's a possibility that that could happen because of the type of relationship that you have formed. So then the second one is emotional cheating. So that's pretty much where you see people are talking to each other. So now they're listening to each other's problems, and they are consoling one another, whatever it is that they may be experiencing at home, that maybe they're tired of it, whatever it is for them that is making them start really connecting emotionally with someone else. And I know you say, well, they're just talking. No, talking leads to so many other things. We may start out talking, and next thing you know, you're trying to meet up somewhere. We're going to actually review a podcast that was done called The Cheat Code. We're going to review that. And I'm not sure if that's going to be in April, but I will let you guys know once we get closer, and I will be posting flyers. Um, because that's how that relationship started. The couple that is doing the podcast, it started out emotional cheating, relationship. That's how it started out for them, and it wound up with more. So I'm not going to spoil it for those of you that have not ever seen it. I'm going to tell you guys later where to find it. So if you want to start listening to it, it's really good. It really talks a lot about how easy it is to be going through something at home and you just step out and the temptation is there, so that's a lot. That podcast, it breaks down so much about cheating. So we're definitely going to review that. Okay, so then the next one is cyber cheating. So, that's dealing with the computer. That could be the online dating. A lot of times people who are online dating, they are married. They're not necessarily single. They're on there trying to find someone that will allow them to come over and they have an affair. It's a lot of that. Um, the next one is object affair. So, object affair is something that you're really addicted to. So, porn would be an example of that. So, you're addicted to porn. So, you're more into porn than you are your relationship. You don't even want to have sex with your partner because you're so into what you're seeing with the porn. So, that's an affair. So, it's like you're no longer connected emotionally or physically. You're there, but you're not really there. You don't really exist in the relationship because you're existing over here with what you're watching in the porn. Flirting. People don't know how dangerous that is. Like, I used to be such a big flirt, but I don't even know when I stopped, but I know it had to be at least 4 or 5 years ago because you don't know who you're flirting with. You don't know if you're flirting with someone who's married because you haven't had a conversation yet. So you don't really know. So I don't flirt. I don't do any of that anymore because to me, that's hurting somebody unintentionally. I didn't know that this person was married. So that's hurting their spouse unintentionally. So we have to think about those things. So then we're going to move forward, and you may please comment and join in the discussion. Um, so the next one is some of the reasons why people cheat, right? So my question is, why cheat? As I said before, let's have a conversation. Let's not go that far. So the first one is gratification. That's the first reason for why people cheat, why they decide to step out the relationship. It's all about them. Anger. Sometimes you can be so angry at your partner for something they said, something they did, um, something you may have thought they did or said, and you decide, okay, I'm gonna just step out. I'm gonna just, or maybe you didn't even plan to do anything, but you left because you were so angry. And now you find yourself in a situation that you weren't planning on getting in, but you were so angry. Okay, so the third one is revenge. People find out that their partner is cheating and they revenge cheat because they feel like that's going to hurt their partner. And a lot of times it does not hurt their partner at all. And then sometimes it does, but at the same time, it doesn't make you feel better because you did it out of revenge. Um, so revenge cheating is really a waste because you did it to hurt them, but at the same time, it didn't make you feel any better. Falling out of love, no more passion in a relationship, that can happen, and that happens from not for lack of communication, lack of dating in your relationship, lack of just spending that time just sitting down with each other. Just hold hands, sit down and hold hands, be connected in some type of way. Like the passion is gone, it's over because you didn't do the maintenance on your relationship. It's no different than taking your car to the shop, for the oil changes and the different things of maintenance that need to be done. If you don't do that for your relationship, your marriage, you can fall out of love. It's important to invest in your relationship. Go to seminars. It's so many things out here on YouTube that you can even find something out there on YouTube that you guys can sit down and listen to, or do counseling or something. And when you go to counseling, you don't always have to go to counseling because there was a problem. You can go to keep it from being a problem. You just stand on top of things. Um, Esteem is another reason why people cheat. Like they don't know how they fit in the marriage or the relationship. Maybe they don't feel like they're good enough. So their self-esteem is low and they step out just to see if they still have it, or if they do have it. Not if maybe they never thought they had it, but they step out to see if they do have it. Neglect, a lot of times, um, in the relationship and the marriage, you start neglecting the marriage and the relationship. It's no longer what it used to be. And you don't do the things that we just talked about to maintain your marriage and your relationship and make sure that you keep things spicy in that relationship, in that marriage. So you neglect it. It's like you become roommates now. Fantasy. Sometimes people have this fantasy of being married and stepping out and cheating with someone else, and doing something else. Maybe they will decide, okay, my spouse don't want to do a threesome. I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna do a threesome with these people over here. It's something that they fantasized about. Testing the boundaries. Sometimes the the partner that's cheating, they are testing the boundaries of the relationship. Whatever boundaries that were set in place in the beginning are now being tested because it's just something they want to see. Well, let me just see what's going to happen if I do this. And then, as we talked about earlier, we talked about learned behavior. So, people, as we talked about before, people learn a certain behavior as a child. They see it in their surroundings and they think it's okay. A lot of times we've heard throughout the years that it's always been said that every man cheats. And I think that's unfair to say because I don't think that every man cheats. But of course, we know women cheat too. But I'm just saying this is something that we've always heard. And a lot of times it's been said that men do it because they feel like it's okay, it's accepted. If a man goes out and do that, they are not looked at in the way that a woman is looked at if she steps out and cheats. It's like a double standard. So a lot of times with the learned behavior, it's from what they have seen and they literally just keep living. It's like a cycle. I looked at learned behavior as a cycle. Just like somebody who was raised in a home where there was abuse, and they watched it happening to their parent and they grow up and become that. Always say they don't want to be that, but they grow up and be that, or they're the person that receives that type of treatment. So it's a learned behavior. I feel like I want to address that in like a separate um video because it's so much that comes with that. To me, it's just a cycle that just keeps on going and keeps on doing the same thing over and over again. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going on through the family till somebody says, you know what, this stops right here with me. Like, this is not going to move forward. I'm going to educate my family not to be that. So Now we're going to talk about the types of cheaters. So the first one we're going to talk about is a serial cheater. So that's a person that has lots of partners and they're mostly having one night stands. So that's a little scary if you get involved with someone who is a serial cheater. And now that we're talking about that, I have a person who I'm actually going to interview who actually wrote a book. And Angela, if you're still on here, can you type the name of the book in the chat? So I'll be interviewing them and you'll learn more about the name of the book and all of that if Angela's not still on here. But so he was a serial cheater in his past. And so I'm looking forward to interviewing him and just talking about certain things within cheating and just how um, sometimes people look at cheating, just the ways that they see what they're doing. Because a lot of times a serial cheater, they have no care in the world about them being a cheater. They're just they don't care. So we're gonna learn more. So the second one is an emotional affection cheater. So, that's a person that formed an emotional connection in relationship because of problems at home, as we talked about earlier. And so that person becomes their outlet, which is very dangerous. A romantic cheater is attached to the spouse emotionally, but attracted to someone else physically. And so so they find themselves out there. You know what? You are so funny. Type in Will's book for me. An opportunistic cheater is a risk taker. So they take that opportunity to just jump out there and do it. Like it's almost fun because they know they might get caught, but they're still going to take the risk. So the name of the book is A Journey to Monogamy, and the writer is Will H. Person. Is it Will or William on there? I think it's William H. Person. Sorry, guys. So then my last one here is the committed cheater. So this person is committed to the partner, but not emotionally attached. So if they don't have an emotional connection with their spouse, then they could be out here doing just anything. So we talked about the types of cheaters. We talked about some of the reasons why people cheat. It's a lot, which we're going to definitely dive into. Um, we talked about the four types of cheating. We talked about what could happen, what the negatives are when the partner steps out and cheats. And that was, we talked about the things that happens within the family, how the family gets broken up. So are there any comments or any questions? So again, my question is, why cheat? Okay, so yeah, it's William H. Person. He's the author. So why cheat, guys? It's important. It's so many ways to handle relationships and marriages that, where you are just not feeling the same. It's so many ways to do that. Number one, we have to learn how to communicate effectively with one another. We have to um, learn how to love each other. And when you say you love each other, really mean that you love someone. When you say I'm in love with you, really mean that you're in love with them. Do the work that it takes to keep your relationship on the level that it needs to be. Keep it where it's healthy. We want healthy marriages and relationships because I'm telling you, when we have healthy marriages and healthy relationships, we create healthy children. And then in return, we have a healthy community because we're healthy. And I know that life is not perfect. It's going to be something. I get that. But we have to start working towards being more healthy within our minds, our bodies, and our souls. And we have to work towards teaching our family how to be healthy. I wasn't always healthy mentally, physically, or spiritually, but when I got on track and I became more healthy and I started making healthy decisions and choices, I wanted to be healthy. You have to want to be that. Then I started to really dive in and pay attention to how I raised my children and say, okay, I might need to go back and do some damage control. And I did that. I went back and did damage control, and I learned how to pour into them and just help them to be great adults, make better decisions, and not judge them for the decisions that they have made that may not be the best decisions. That is another topic that is going to be coming up. I'm going to talk about how to have a healthy relationship with your children, because there are so many people out here who they've never really had a healthy relationship with their parent, and that just wears and tears on a person, and they grow into an adult and not having that relationship. It really affects them in so many ways. It affects them when it's time to start dating or to date with a purpose for marriage, and have children, because whatever it is that has been put on them, they're going to do the same to their children if the cycle doesn't stop somewhere. And that's where I'm talking about the cycle, how it continues to keep going and going and going. And we have to get to that point where that cycle is stopped, like it's broken. We have to break that cycle, and it's a process. And I hope to bring my good friend Shantae on to talk about breaking the cycles, because that is something that she specializes in, and talking about. So we're definitely going to have the conversation about um, breaking cycles with your children, and creating bonds that are everlasting, and when you have great bonds with your children, it's everything. Let me see. So Angela said, I really feel like if you're getting urges to cheat, just leave. And I'm gonna agree with you on that, Angela. Especially if you know you're getting ready to break somebody's heart. Like just leave just talk to your partner, because they're gonna be hurt in that way as well that you're leaving. But I think they would feel better if you guys split up versus you go out and cheat, because that is a whole different feeling in itself to be cheated on. It definitely breaks your self-esteem, and your self-esteem is so low. You stop really even I'm sorry, let me start over. You stop feeling attractive, and you start questioning you question so many things about yourself. Um, which when I end a relationship, I always look at myself to say, okay, what could I have done differently in this relationship? But when you've been cheated on, you just question so much about yourself, physically and on the inside. So it's important that we take the time to just think about, make good choices, guys. Before you make moves, make choices, think about it. Hey, how you doing, Gail? Thanks for joining us tonight. We're talking about cheating. So the question is, why cheat? So let me ask you a question, Gail, while I have you on here real quick. This was the icebreaker. So how would you I'm sorry, one second, because I want to make sure I say this correctly because I have screwed it up a couple of times tonight. Um, would you view a person who is cheating on their partner due to learned behavior as a partner who is in love with their partner? Because that's the question for tonight. That's the icebreaker for tonight. So while we're waiting for Gail to respond, so let's take time to communicate with one another, um, and listen. So let me repeat the question for you again. Would you view a person who is cheating on their partner due to learned behavior as a partner who loves, I'm sorry, as a partner who is in love with their partner? So so a person who is a cheater because it's been learned in their past to be a cheater, would you see them as a partner who actually is in love with their partner? So when we start talking about learned behaviors, right? So, like I said on this channel, this is definitely a discussion where everyone can have their own opinion about everything on here. Whatever it is we're talking about, whatever the topic is, it's okay to have your own opinion. And I just really feel like a person who is cheating, whether it was a learned behavior or not, they're accountable for what they do. It's just like a person who learned about physical abuse as a child coming up and they are abusive to their wife. They're still abusive to their wife, or they're abusive to their, let me say this, they're abusive to their spouse, whether it's a woman or a man. Um, and that's not a person that's in love, because if you're in love, you cannot, um, I just don't see how you could abuse your partner and see how badly you're hurting and breaking them. Uh-oh. So, that's just my opinion, guys. And so feel free to put in the comments what you think. So, let me see. Okay, so this is the end of the conversation about cheating, unless someone wants to jump in and say something as a comment or ask a question. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to have a topic coming up where we're going to really focus in on parenting, um, and just how we are with our children as adults, as youngsters and adults. So that'll be coming up as well. So you'll see the flyer. Well, I just want to say this. I really appreciate you all for logging on tonight, for the conversation about cheating and just asking the question, why cheat? There are so many things that we could do when we feel like we're in that space of, okay, because you have to already know that you're in this space of something, that this is not going right, it's not going the way I want. And you know, you just know that you're not in a good headspace, that it could possibly happen. Like somebody could walk up to you and tell you everything that you wish that your partner was telling you. And depending on who you are as a person, you may accept that. And here we go with the cheating. Now, first of all, it could be the emotional cheating. And we know how that is. Like, you start with that and the person is listening to everything. So let me tell you guys something with the cheating. So it's an 80-20 thing. So the person that you're married to, they are the 80%. The person that you're cheating with is the 20%. You are only going over there because of you can't deal with what's going on in the marriage. And so when you go over here with the 20%, you don't have to deal with the regular issues that you would have to deal with or the regular conversations you have to deal with. You can just go over to this person and just do whatever the heck you want to with this person. And so that's the 20%. So you're not really dealing with much over there. Over here with the 80%, it's a lot to deal with. You have a family. You got to think about finances. You got to think about how y'all going to do this, how y'all going to do that. But in the meanwhile, you guys are not agreeing on things. There's a lot going on in the marriage. You're depressed now because I'm sick of this, and you get caught up in something that you don't have no business in. But let me tell you, if you're that 20% for these people, you should get yourself out of that, like, with the quickness, because you're just being used. You're never going to be the 80%. Now, there are some times when, yeah, that does happen. And that's why I was saying we're gonna review the cheat code. That was a podcast. If any of my people that reviewed it with me before are on here, if you remember what the app is, can you type it in the comments for me? The cheat code really broke down so much about cheating. So it started with the emotional relationship and it just turned into something else. So I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but it broke down everything about cheating. So when things are just going haywire in the marriage and you just want to just step out just so you can clear your head. But when you step out, you find yourself getting into something, that's going to take you away from your marriage, or it's going to make things worse than they were before. So let's take the time to communicate with each other, talk to each other, talk about what you guys think you should do to move forward. Do the counseling if you have to. Invest in your marriage because it's worth it. It really is. And I don't care if you leave that marriage and you go to another marriage, that person that you get in that marriage with, they're going to have some issues too. They're going to have some baggage. They're going to have something that you don't like. So whoever it was you was dealing with, this 20%, you decide to leave your spouse for the 20%. When you get over there, whatever it was that you never talked about because they was the 20%, you about to get a rude awakening, because now you're going to be dealing with all that. And it could be much worse than it was when you were in your actual marriage. Take time to think about things and make great choices. All right, guys. So on that note, I'm going to get ready to end tonight's segment on why cheat. That's my question, and it's always going to be my question. Why cheat? I look forward to talking with you guys again on next week, on next Tuesday, again at 8 o'clock. Feel free to write in to Ms. Empower, and you can send that in to Ms. Empower, and that's I'm sorry, guys. That's MZZ, and that's in zebra, Z as in zebra, sorry, empower@gmail.com. So looking forward again to talking to you guys next week. You have any suggestions on a topic, please do send it in to MsEmpower@gmail.com. All right, guys. With that being said, look forward to talking with you guys on next week. Have a great week. Have a great weekend.